What did you bring to Good For You? Like, what did you add to that song?
That's a funny story. I mean, I went over to Dan's house and he played me like Sour, like pretty much the whole thing. I think there were a few songs missing, but anyways, and he played me, I don't know how much of this full story to tell, but anyways, I heard like the acoustic demo of Good For You, and we started working on it literally right there and then, and we FaceTime Olivia and just came up with the vibe. And then yeah, I mean, like specifically did a bunch of guitar, bass, drums, backup vocals, some weird synth parts, shit like that.
Oh, so you really helped build out the whole song from an acoustic song to what it is now.
Yeah, I think they had written it just like on an acoustic guitar in Utah where she was shooting High School Musical at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then that's where it was, and so we literally just FaceTimed her from Dan's studio and just started right there and then after he played it for me for the first time.
What, did it start slow? Like, was it a ballad?
No, it wasn't a ballad. Like, it had like feel and pace to it, but it was just acoustic.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Want to know something funny about Good For You? The chorus, BPM wise, is actually slower than the verse, even though it feels way faster. It just goes double time.
Why why?
Because when we chose the double time feel in that tempo of the verse, it just felt too fast. So we actually slowed it down, which is like way super antithetical to most traditional pop music.
Yeah.
You would never think like the chorus should be slower than the verse. And obviously it doesn't feel slower because it goes double time. But as far as like from a BPM perspective, it is slower.
But those things make the difference between a good song and a great song.
But I think that's also what makes Dan special is he's not afraid to do stuff like that. He only cares about how it feels and how it sounds. He doesn't care about any rules or any preconceived notions of what should happen. It's just like what feels good.
So do you feel like you go into the studio not having a formula or some sort of shell? Like, is there no formula to what you do?
I don't think there can be. I think there's just taste. I mean, like there certainly is for certain types of super pop music.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not naive to that. You know, like certain like, you know, Dua Lipa records, for example, like I'm a huge Dua Lipa fan, are like much more like mathematical in their presentation of like getting to the hook in a certain amount of time, hitting it back a certain like amount of times. But at least for my music, and I think, you know, I'm not speaking for Olivia and Dan, but for Olivia's too, it's much more just like following the feeling and making things as just dramatic and emotional as possible. Like that's something I learned from Olivia is like, she's like, her chief concern when making a song is like, is it dramatic enough? And I love that she uses that word because I think it's so accurate, and I think it's so what everyone is searching for. They're searching for like the emotional, I think drama is just like emotional dynamics, and that's what people are searching for in music. And I think that's why, you know, it's one of the many reasons she had so much success, because she mastered and continues to master just emotional dynamics.
And by the way, like incredibly vivid pictures. Like
totally. And then when those emotional dynamics are so mirrored sonically with sonic dynamics, the way Dan does it, it's like, that's just a perfect marriage, you know. I mean, that's how you get great songs.
I can hear the car in Driver's License.
Yeah.
You know, like
totally.
That's in my head right now. I can hear that car.
Yeah, literally.